What's up, you guys? We're going to be reacting to another Courtney Ryan video. Let's check it out.
What is the ideal age for a guy that you are looking to be with?
So I just turned 27, so like 3 years older than that. So I would say between like 31, maybe 32, just depending on like when their birthday is.
So I'm 27, and I would say I would want them to be older. So like my range that I look for is 28 to 35.
I think anyone within 3 to 5 years either way, but probably older. Yeah,
Okay, so maybe 33,
potentially.
if you had to choose.
There's a lot of mature, this is just recently, there's a lot of mature people at the end of their 20s who I think I have good chemistry with, so I wouldn't and then there's people in their 30s, even in their early 30s, who act like they're so, they got a bum knee and stuff, and I'm like, okay, but I don't feel broken yet. You can't go for a run with me? Just go down a weight at the gym. I don't get it. So I don't know, it's hard.
Okay, do we want to go somewhere in the middle, maybe 30?
Yeah.
Okay, 30, we'll
Yeah.
just go with your age.
I really like 28 to 36 max, or 37 max. Not in the 40s, still in the 30s, because I feel like they've matured. They kind of have gotten settled in their careers. They know what they want. They're not really looking.
So far, so good, guy.
There's less of a chance that you'll find somebody who is just looking to play games.
Okay, and how old are you?
I'm gonna be 24 in November.
Okay,
So
you're
I'm
basically
pretty
20.
young.
By the time this video comes out, you'll be 24.
Okay.
So if we have to pick one age, you said between 28 and 36, what did we say, 32?
Yeah, I would say 30. No, probably 30 is perfect to meet them, and then we can get married when they're 32.
I feel like the bracket that I'm normally looking at, or the roster, I guess, I don't know, between 29 and I don't know, 37, 38, I guess, because I just feel like all guys that are honestly between 24 to 28, they don't really want anything serious at all.
I would say 27.
Okay, and how old are you?
23.
I would have to say the person that I would marry right now would probably have to be between 32 and maybe 43.
Okay.
Between 30 and 40s. Yeah, I'm 28. So I feel like the person I'm with needs to be a lot more mature than me.
Okay. So do we want to go 37? Just
Yeah,
to go somewhere
I would
in the middle?
definitely be with a 37-year-old.
Okay. So
For
we'll
sure.
take that as the number.
Okay.
So far, it's a pretty accurate representation of the general expectations. So far, so good.
Thinking of your future, what % of the family income do you personally want to contribute? Do you want to be the breadwinner? Do you want to contribute 50-50? Do you want to be a stay-at-home wife or mom?
I would be comfortable contributing 50-50,
Okay.
but I would prefer that it be more so 40-50.
Okay.
Me
40-60? You
Yeah.
the 40, them the 60?
Yes.
I'd be okay with, I never thought of this. I don't know. These weren't the things that I fixated on the most when I envisioned my partner. But if I had to throw it out there, maybe half or a little under half.
Okay.
I'm probably,
We'll go 50-50 top.
yeah.
Okay.
Ooh. So I personally, I would not mind contributing majority, but I would say no more than 70% of household income.
So I really want to be a stay-at-home mom. So if that doesn't work out with the person I'm with, then it doesn't work out. But that is how I picture myself as a mom and a wife. So I guess I wouldn't be contributing financially.
I don't want any of my income to be needed in the family. I want the man to be 100% the supporter, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to work and I'm not going to have my own business or whatever.
But you would want the family to be able to live solely off of your
Yes,
husband's income.
100% solely off of my husband. I don't want me to have to use my income at all. But that's not because I'm not going to be working or I'm not going to have my own stuff going on. It's just because I want the freedom to be able to take care of my kids for the first 7 years of their life. I want to be a stay-at-home mom and be with them basically 24/7. I think that's important in the family structure, so that's pretty much the only reason why.
Okay, so you would choose stay-at-home mom. So 0%, we'll say.
Yes.
Okay.
I think 50-50 is definitely acceptable, and that's what I'd enjoy. I wouldn't enjoy feeling like someone has to take care of me. I don't like relying on people or men or really anyone for money. I think that's totally just unacceptable. That's just how I was raised.
If I'm painting a picture, if it's my ideal life, I would love to just be a stay-at-home wife with some hobbies and, raising a family, because that's just the way I grew up. I had a stay-at-home mom, and it was just a really good environment to have.
Okay, so ideally that's what you would want.
100%. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I want to talk about your ideal lifestyle. So thinking about a house, how many bedrooms, how many square feet, what are we thinking?
I don't need anything, crazy spacious, but I definitely do want a big enough home where everybody can have their own, individual selves and space to feel comfortable. So just depending on lifestyle and family, at least 3 to 4 bedrooms for sure, 2 full baths, because God forbid there's more than one girl in the house. That'll be drama. And definitely a big backyard. So at least 5 acres, to roam on is what I aspire to have. And then square footage on a house, I really don't even know how to scale something like that. I don't 4,000 to 5,000.
Okay. She had me until the 5 acres. Wow. 5 acres is a lot. If you want that in our day and age, you either live way out in the country or you are paying a top dollar for that if you live in a city. So I guess my follow-up question would be, do you want those 5 acres to be in a major city, or do you want to live in the middle of nowhere and then you get your 5 acres and your house?
1,000 square feet, maybe.
Okay. What you described sounds close to that.
That. If I need to go bigger, obviously, we'll go bigger. That's no question. But just a nice, comfortable size home.
Okay, and then how many kids do you want?
2 to 3.
Okay.
If 2 boys and a girl would be ideal.
Okay, and what about a car? I know you like cars.
Yeah, if it could be anything, if it's my dream, it'd probably be a Pagani BC, which is a hypercar.
Oh my gosh.
I do not know what that
Oh my gosh, they're so sexy.
Okay. All right. She said dream car. My dream car is probably a Bugatti. So I'll let her have it.
See, so that would be.
How much is that car?
I don't even know. Probably at least
It's a couple million.
1.5 mil for sure.
my
At
God.
least. I don't even know.
Okay, so what about not the dream car, but
something more realistic that I
yeah.
would get?
Just to
Here we
give us
go.
a ballpark,
Realistic.
kind of range.
Maybe some sort of F12 Ferrari, an A12 Super.
Oh. Wait. That was... Oh my gosh. Hang on. That was the realistic option? You went from Pagani to Ferrari? Whew. I had faith in you, and now you just made me look bad. Bro. Ferrari. All right. That's the realistic option. Okay.
That would be super cool, or maybe a 458.
Okay. How much are those?
Would be
80?
ideal. No, those are probably depending 300,000.
Yeah, it's a couple $100,000. No
Just
big
depending
deal.
on what you
Probably
go
as
with,
much
yeah.
as the house.
She's a car girl.
Love 'em.
So if I was a stay-at-home mom, it would be because we're
All right, I'm going to guess this chick has some high standards because of the way that she looks. Appearance says a lot. They say don't judge a book by its cover, but if she's dressing this way and you can see her mannerisms, the way she carries herself, she's going to have some big ticket items on her list.
we're financially okay without me working. And if we were in a position where that wasn't the case, then I would 100% work and be fine with that. But I want to have 3 kids, so you'd have to have a bigger house for that. So I don't even know because I've never.
So far, I'm not mad at it.
I don't know what's normal. Is 3,000 square feet normal? That might be big.
Yeah, would you say like 4 bedrooms?
3,000 is kind of
Like
big, man.
4-bedroom home, something like that?
Yeah.
Okay, and then what about like cars? Would you want to drive a luxury car? Do you not really care about that?
I don't care about cars. I know a lot of people do. Like I drive a Mazda and I'm like
Okay.
really happy with it. So that's not a big thing to me.
How many square feet would your house be?
Oh, minimum 23.
Okay.
2,300
All
square
right,
feet.
she
Yeah.
knows. And how many kids?
Dang, she has her
So
numbers
it
ready.
depends on the person. I would be okay with none. And also, like, it just depends on their values. I would say, ideally, though, my max would be 4.
Okay. What about a car?
I want a car where it's nice and it stays nice. I know, ideally, if you have kids, that's not going to happen. But I
So
would
you
like,
take care of it.
personally, for me, an SUV, Cadillac Escalade, you know, the OG like mom car of like, well, back in the day, I would say.
Okay. Okay, describe your ideal lifestyle. So house. What's your house? How many square feet?
Shoot, like I never even thought of this.
She's like a
Okay,
homie.
what about how many kids do you want?
I thought in terms of like family, this guy's got to be funny. We need to have inside jokes. Like,
Yeah, this girl's cool. This girl's cool. I
kids,
like her.
Probably if we're financially able to, like maybe 3 kids.
Okay, 3 kids. So maybe like 4-bedroom house.
Sure.
Okay. And what about car? Do you?
I don't care about the square footage of the house. I just want it to have enough space for me and however many kids we have. If we have 1 kid,
Not bad,
we can
not
just
bad.
have 1 bedroom for them, like an extra bedroom, so a 2-bedroom house. If I have 5 kids, then I want to have a 5-bedroom house.
Ooh, 5
or
kids.
a 6-bedroom
Wow.
house because we need a bedroom.
So I'll ask you then, how many kids do you want? Like ideally.
I want 2 kids.
Okay. So
Ideally.
we'll base the house off the 2 kids. So you
Okay.
would want like a 3-bedroom, right?
I would want 3-bedroom, yeah. Maybe like an office added. But I don't care about any luxury finishes or whatever. I would
All right,
want
I'm
it to be
impressed by the
nice. I don't
answers
really
of the
care about,
house
like,
so
swimming
far
pool or
for
anything
all
crazy
these
like
girls.
that. It
Well,
doesn't matter
except for
Oh,
if
the
we're super
acreage.
wealthy, I still would want to like be within our means,
Okay.
like within our needs.
Okay. What about a car? Do you care about the car?
I do kind of care
the car.
about cars. I do like luxury cars. I think they're nice and I think they're sexy. But again, I would never go above.
It's just
I would
a
never
car,
want to be
man.
struggling because we're paying a crazy car payment. It's only if we had enough money that we could afford a luxury car. And even then, like, I wouldn't
All right,
want, like,
I
a
actually like her
Lamborghini.
answer here.
I like BMW and Mercedes just because they look nice. But I would get like just a nice car that I could drive my kids around, and then my man can drive whatever car he wants. I would definitely like a luxury car.
What about a car? Do you need a luxury car? What, like, are you okay with regular car?
No, I'm not okay with a regular car. I'm not at all. I love cars. I feel like when you get into it every morning, or you're getting out of work, or you're getting out of work going to your car, it's
All right, but
something
if I
that you
remember
look at and
correctly,
you're
this
like,
girl's
damn, like, I'm
down for the
happy I'm working
50-50
for
life, so
something
that's
good, and that makes me feel
that's
good.
probably
makes me
okay.
happy. So I enjoy having a nice car.
Okay.
I had a Mercedes that I really enjoyed. And then I've had Volkswagens, and I have one now, and I love Volkswagens, so I say those top 2 are good. Acuras are cool, but definitely Mercedes and Volkswagen. I feel like those are my top tier faves.
Okay. How many square feet would your house be? How many bedrooms would it be? Ideally.
If I had 3 children, though, I would definitely want at least 5 bedrooms. Because if I had family members that wanted to stay over, I could put them in that room, and then I could have like another room for a different purpose, like an office space or, you know, a computer room.
Right. What would you want his income to be? If you're going to be a stay-at-home mom, like
Income, here we
what
go.
kind of range
This
would
is where
his
it's going to get
income-
interesting.
That's tough because I feel like I would have to like break down like how much it actually like costs to have kids and like travel and the house and all that, and I don't really know, but I think for me to be comfortable like staying at home and not working, like I feel like this is gonna sound bad. I feel like 300,000. I guess if they made less than that, I feel like we wouldn't have the lifestyle I wanted, so I would work.
Right. But you're talking ideal lifestyle. Like,
Yeah,
this is your
yeah.
dream life.
$300,000
I think
a
so.
year.
Be a stay-at-home mom
And
not
have
have to
So
work
she either
outside.
wants a
all that.
CEO
Yeah, okay.
or
Life's
above.
I would just like to preface this as saying this is not do or die. But based on where I'm at, if he makes between anywhere from 70 to 100K.
I would have to say 127.
127, that's pretty
Ideally,
specific.
like if they're in an industry where they do have longevity and they know like, hey, every single year I'm gonna get a raise between like 3 to 5%, which it just depends. Like I would be comfortable with that.
I'm kind of like, for these girls to come up with these numbers, I wonder what they make in their jobs, or if they have jobs, because they don't. Their answers are they're way higher than the median, and they're approaching like the top 10 or even 1% of men. So I don't think they have a very realistic view on life. I'll give it to them that they're young, but these numbers are really high.
$500,000? Is that bad? I know that 1% of men make $500,000, or like less than 1%.
All right. I tried, and then you said $500,000. $500,000. All right. I'm going to pull up on the screen how delusional that number is. So I'm going to put exclude married, exclude obese, because she probably doesn't want someone that's fat. Pick, her age range that she said. I'll go back and we'll see what percentage of men she just was talking about. $500,000 a year. That's crazy.
Is that bad? I know that 1% of men make $500,000, or like less than 1% of men or something.
I'd say probably 150 to $250,000 a year. That's my guess.
Okay. And you would contribute also 50-50,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
You'd be willing to do
Okay, so if you contribute 50%, you're also making 125 to $250,000. Crazy.
up to 50.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So keeping all of this in mind, we just painted your ideal life.
Yeah.
For the 27-year-old man, what would
gonna
his
work so hard.
income ideally be? Like
What would it have to be?
to support this life?
Which is so funny because I saw this video the other day where it was saying like, if your wife can spend more than you make, like you need to make more money. So it really just depends. But I mean, just to have like a really decent lifestyle and be supported well, like
It's easier said than done.
150 maybe to 250,000 a year would be comfortable for sure. The more the merrier, but that'd be comfortable.
I was just having this.
These girls are sold a dream on social media, and where are they expecting to find these people? I bet you their social circle is so far away from having access to these people that it's incredible. Like, they probably spend most of their time on Instagram, think that these guys are all over the place, making all kinds of money, because that's what social media perpetuates. See, this is why social media can be such a dangerous thing, is because you have both men and women. Men thinking that they have access to these Instagram model level girls who probably are faking most of their beauty anyway, at least most of them. And then girls, on the other hand, are thinking that millionaire men are a dime a dozen, that they're easy access.
And how many kids you want to have, and just like the lifestyle that you want to have. And I feel like ideally my husband needs to be making like 650,000.
What? Bro.
I feel like there's beauty and growth getting to that point.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, I'm going to contribute, more than what I'm contributing now.
Yeah.
What kind of lifestyle do you need in order to make, like, if you're making $650,000 a year, your lifestyle is going to be extravagant. So why do you need to make that kind of money? Like, this is crazy. I understand, like, dream all you want. Go ahead. But If you want access to this kind of lifestyle, you got to work your butt off for it. And most of the time, these guys are working so hard that they don't have time for you anyway.
No, but ideally, I would want someone to be able to match my hustle. So like, if I'm making this much and I have this lifestyle, this person cannot have a lesser lifestyle than me.
This leads me to believe that these girls are on a different level of bouginess. Like, they were raised on a silver platter and they have this expectation that is very far from reality. It's not realistic at all. Or because, most of these girls are very pretty, they've been invited to yachts, parties, whatever, and they've had access to these in small bits, and they seem to think that the world is just at a different level than it actually is.
Otherwise, it is not going to work out.
Yeah.
So
you said you would want to contribute 40% max.
Right.
So if they're making $650, that would mean you would be making $400,000.
and that sounds great to me, unless I could be making more.
Okay. What do you think is the median income for
Crazy.
age 31?
As of right now,
It's like I can only imagine if any of these girls go out and they go to the workforce and they realize what kind of skills and abilities you have to make $400,000 a year. 400, not 650. Most of the time you are either a high level executive of a company, you own your own business and you're wildly successful, or you're doing something illegal. Whenever I see a person with a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, my first thought isn't, oh wow, he, got a PhD or a master's degree. No, my first thought is that guy's either a CEO of a company or an entrepreneur himself.
think it's probably like between mid 50s, maybe 60.
It's $45,000. Yeah.
Oh,
What do you think the top 25%
Reality
of men are making
strikes
at
hard.
31?
I think it's probably in my range of like that mid, like maybe like 57,
70.
70. Oh, okay.
Top 10% of men
I'd say
at
90.
31.
These numbers are bringing the expectations so much further. I have to just enjoy the fact that these numbers are grounding, and I can't wait to see the reactions of the other ones.
90.
111, you're close. Okay. And then what about the top 1% of men?
Ooh, I would say 120.
252.
Wow. Okay, that
Top
jumps
1%.
pretty high.
So you're asking 127 is closest to the top 10% of men. So I would say it's probably top 5% at 31 if I had to guess. So
I would say it's even less than that, because you have to think about other factors like, do you have access to these people? Are they within your talking circle? Are they within your circle of friends? You can't just magically have access. Like, these people exist, sure, but whether or not you are even in a space where you can meet them ever in your entire life is an entirely different question. So I would say 5% is being very generous. I would say it's even less than that, probably like 2-3% maximum.
only the top 5% of men at 31 are making $127,000.
That's insane. That is crazy.
But it's kind of crazy because over 70% of men never make $100,000 even one time in their life. 70% of men. So that means only 30% of men are, well, actually 23 last year in 2021, only 23.4% of the male workforce made $100,000. And
that number I didn't know about. I'm actually surprised by that, because I've done pretty well for myself in the corporate world. Those are the numbers that we have to work with.
that's factoring in all ages, not just, guys under 32 or whatever it is. You assume most of them are a little bit older.
Right, are making, oh my gosh.
I don't know, maybe 80?
It's actually 41,000.
You're lying.
For a 27-year-old.
I just feel like everything is so expensive nowadays. Like,
How can
I
they
guess
afford
yeah,
it?
That's fine. No worries. Cut it in half.
41,000. That's
Shorty will bring it home.
That's the median. And then what do you think the top 25% of men at 27 make?
I guess that's it. Let's change up the perspective. Maybe 60K.
61. Yep,
Okay.
close. And then what about the top 10%?
Top 10. 75.
91. Okay, so you're
Okay.
under there. And then what do you think the top 1%ers at 27 are making?
Oof, like 200K.
Spot on.
Yeah.
203. Yep.
Yeah, awesome.
Yep. So you want a 1% man at 27.
It seems like that's all we want nowadays with these 1%ers.
Median income never eclipses 65,000 regardless of age.
Again, social
So,
media, man.
70
Social
to 100
media.
is above the median.
Well, somebody's gonna have a sugar mama.
Yeah, shout outs to the fact that she said that she's gonna be the sugar mama.
Not 300,000. I mean, the median, I'm gonna guess like, I don't know, is it like 80?
It's $48,000 for
Okay.
32.
Okay.
Yeah, and even at
That's
the
crazy.
even at the top 35, which was the end of your range.
Yeah.
The median is $52,776.
So my expectations are not realistic.
Yeah, they're not at all. Sorry. I mean, it's nice to see you're getting, a wake up call to that situation, but I think the world needs more awareness. You see all these self-made millionaires on Instagram. First of all, probably more than half of them are lying, and they show you one thing, but they are another. And the ones that aren't faking it, they had to work their entire life to get that lifestyle. So most of them are probably going to be older than 30. Are there exceptions? Sure, I'm not saying that. And then the ones that have gotten there, the lifestyle that they're showing you is bits and pieces, but they didn't show you the hard work that it took to get there. And it's insane, the grind to get to $1 million, and then from there getting to 10 million to get to 100 million. The hustle's hard, guys. To get to 100,000, it's a lot more challenging than it seems.
So you said you want 500K, but what do you think the median income is for a 30-year-old?
100K.
60K,
Oh, okay.
70K, 50K.
It is $45,000.
Look at her face. She's like, there's no way, God help me. She's like, help me. Like, how do we live in a world? How are you so poor? Oh, man. Look at her face.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, that's the median. Now, what would you guess if you had to the top 25% of men or people at age 30?
Well, if that's the medium, then the top
People, not
25,
men.
like 60?
73. And then what about the top 10% of men?
100?
Close, 108. What about the top 1%? Top 1% of men at 30.
30 years of age.
Well, I thought it was 500,000, but you said no, so 400,000.
338. Yeah, so let's see.
I mean, 338 is still okay.
For a 32-year-old, what do you think the median income
Oh, yeah.
is?
I can deal with
for his
338.
age
Yeah, sure.
specifically?
I have access to that 1% of men.
For a
Yeah.
42-year-old?
32-year-old.
32-year-old.
The age that you chose.
I'm going to go with probably like 85K a year.
It's $48,000.
Yeah, she's like, oh, I'm checking out, at least mentally. I've seen so many interviews over the years that it's kind of desensitizing me to it, which I think is what's happening to most people, especially girls that are looking for these 1% men. But it's like a lot of their answers are like, oh, 100K, 200K, 500K. Some even go $1 million or higher. Like I've heard 3-4 million, or I won't even talk to them. And that is so delusional. It's actually insane. Like, it's kind of a failure on the parents' part to not teach them these things about money and the way that money exists in our current society and realm. If anything, share this video with girls so that they can see what realistically is possible out there. And I will post the numbers. I'll give you all the website that allows you to see whether or not a girl is being realistic or completely delusional on her expectations. I'll give you guys the website in the description below.
The top 25% of men, guess how much that is at 32?
Wait, say that once more.
The top 25% at 32 years old.
I don't know. Now I'm even nervous to answer the question. I guess like maybe 125.
77. Top 10% is 120. And the 1%ers at 32. 1%. This is men and women. 1% at 32. 320,000.
I think it's 250,000.
It's 52,000.
What? No, it's not.
52,000.
Damn, America.
And then guess how much the top 25% is at 35? These are the top 25% of earners.
It's 50,000 is the average income of a 37-year-old man.
And then what's the top 25% of a 37-year-old? If you had to guess.
The top 25% of a 37-year-old man? Dang, maybe it's 200,000.
86.
What? No, it's not.
The top 10% is 137,000. The top 1% of earners at 37 years old, top 1%ers.
Right.
Like we're talking 1%, 304,000. Still not 650. Do you think that your standards are unrealistic? Do you think it's realistic? Like, what do you think after hearing the median and the statistics around it? Like, what are your initial thoughts?
It definitely is shocking because a 37-year-old man is a lot older than me. And that means that I don't even know how to process this right now.
And the median income never eclipses 65,000 regardless of the age.
Wow.
So, yeah, the median income for even a 75-year-old, 16 to 75, never eclipses 65,000. And then over 70% of men never make 100K even once in their lifetime. Over 70%. In 2021, only 23.4% of the male workforce made 100,000, and that's all ages. So you have to assume a lot of them are older, above 40, 50, 60s. What do you think makes women feel like they want that? Like, what is causing women to want the 1%ers?
I think a lot of it is like social media hype and just this grand idea of what's obtainable nowadays, which it totally is, but you have to work for it. And that's why it's 1% and not everybody's doing it. So it's not bad to want that, but you have to surround yourself with those types of people. So honestly, for a long time, you're probably going to be in the 25%, but that's how you strive and you get better and you meet the right people. So I think they want it because it seems so obtainable based on social media.
And one thing that has to be said is not everyone is made of the clay that you need to be made of in order to make 1%. And I think that's fine. So that should be said too. All right, guys. So that was a lesson in economics. I hope you all enjoyed this episode, and I'll catch you on the next episode of Twin Bros React. Out.